My name is Denie Sidney. I have a beautiful daughter, Madison Grace Sidney, and she deals with 3 rare disorders. Those are the source of lots of other symptoms, but she has a chromosome difference, Trisomy 9 Mosaic, partial Trisomy 9 with a 9q22.1 deletion, and she has Dandy-Walker Syndrome. My journey as a special needs caregiver started probably the same way others have started. Some may be different. My husband and I, he passed away, but early on in the pregnancy, we found out that Madison was going to have some issues. Initially, it was thought that she would have Down syndrome, which tends to be popular, more people are familiar with, but if you get more specific testing done, then you can find out some more particulars. And Madison's particular chromosome difference is the 4th most rare. Our journey started off kind of grim because with those 3 disorders, Madison's malformations were not life-sustaining. The doctor basically said I was living for her. So after getting all of the medical information about Madison, my husband and I were at peace with saying God will decide. He decided when her life started, he will decide when it ends. We celebrated Maddie nonetheless because she was still existing and in my tummy and kicking me and giving me pregnancy symptoms. And we got so far in the pregnancy where, she was of gestational age to be viable. That being said, we were strongly advised to prepare for her end of life ceremony. And again, we were at peace with that. When Madison and the good Lord decided that she was gonna have a birthday on her birthday, it totally threw a monkey wrench in our mindset and in our plans. There are times she showed us she had strength to do certain things. Constantly she showed us that she's gonna do things on her time when she gets ready. She doesn't give a cahoot about milestones in a book. And because she has such rare disorders, she's writing her own book. At the time Madison was born, there were only 200 children known in the world, not the United States where we are, but the world, to have a chromosome difference similar to hers. Our journey, the first 5 years, were the most tumultuous, when no one knew anything and Madison didn't do anything by the book. To have doctors that believed and doctors who didn't push their own agenda, they said, you lead, we will follow. And I made it a point to stress to them, I need all of us to join together as a team. The biggest thing I know now that I didn't know then is your child will change. When we were in the beginning, in the thick of her screaming and crying and us not knowing wrong and how to soothe it, I literally would tell some of her doctors and development therapists along the way, I can't do this if this is how it's going to be the rest of our life. And the people that were in my support circle encouraged me by saying, I promise you it will not be this way all the time. And I would fire back angrily. How do you know you don't have a child with this disorder? These 2 problems or these 3 problems. You don't know this. And they were brave enough to love me with my anger and my sadness and my tears and just keep encouraging me to go forward. Also, I didn't pay attention to. While Madison would get better, I was falling to pieces more. You will do this without even trying, and before you know it, you're missing meals, you're not drinking enough water, and I would say all the time, but no, she needs something else, which really, some children will be 25/8 care, not 24/7, 25/8. Like, there's not enough time to meet all of their needs, and you will need help. Early in this journey, you have to find a way to balance your care with caring for your child. If I had a magic wand and I could have anything I wished for, I would wish for a traveling nurse that is at my beck and call. Madison has been stable, and she's gotten to the point where her mind is just open and receiving information, and she's investigating, and she's inquisitive, and I didn't know if that would ever happen, but boy, has she turned it on. And I can't travel without a nurse to help me. Even when my husband was alive, I still would have needed a nurse to help me with Madison. This is funny. I kind of, I don't know, I haven't thought of a name to call it, but Madison's my reason for my issues and my reason to keep going, like, at the same time. If that makes sense. Her mind is such that the wheels are turning, and she's figured out how to communicate. She finds things to get into. She can find ways to tell us no. She yells at her nurses, and a diagnosis can't tell you that will or will not happen. Even with a malformed brain, Madison and the Lord do things with that brain that the MRI could not explain. And doctors in the future will be able to say to other parents, we've had cases. Now, I found the Trisomy 9 support group. It took us 7 years, but there are upwards of 600 documented cases of children with Trisomy 9 who have lived, who have some issues more severe than Madison, some less severe, but they're all thriving. And doctors don't have to just offer the option of ending the pregnancy at this point. They can look in a book and say there's a possibility. And the parents should always be the decision makers, I think, about that. So I hope you learned something from us.